controversial opinion. Silver Bullet is scarier than an American Werewolf in London. Now, don't get me wrong, American Werewolf is definitely the better film. But when it comes to being scary, I think Silver Bullet wins out. American has some amazing scenes. I mean, it won an Oscar for a reason. And it's not without scares. The tube scene is still intense, but the bulk of the movie is just too much of a romantic comedy for me to be scary. David's sympathetic. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. And when he's faced with the facts of his
carnivorous lunar activities,
he tries to turn himself into the police. Even his reluctance to kill himself seems to come more from disbelief than an act of self-preservation. I mean, psychosis is much more likely than being a werewolf. But he makes a final call home to tell his family he loves them. He has no intention of making it back. Reverend Lowe, on the other hand, I've always found less sympathetic. He's much more ambivalent than David. He doesn't want to kill anybody.
Let it end, dear God, let it end.
And he does try to stop the townspeople from heading into the woods because he knows what will happen to them. But ultimately, he isn't willing to stop himself. And his willingness as a human to protect himself, even if it means protecting the monster, is much more sinister than sweet, innocent David. Because it's a human Reverend Lowe who tries to run down Marty in his car and then traps him on the bridge, fully prepared to toss the paraplegic boy off the bridge and into the river below. He defends mulling Stella.
By killing her, I took her physical life, but I saved her life eternal.
His transformation before attacking the sheriff seems willful. Now, the idea of a werewolf is scary, but Everett McGill as Reverend Lowe is absolutely terrifying. Silver Bullet isn't a cinematic masterpiece by any means. Its terrible werewolf costume and horrific soundtrack will always keep this movie closer to the middle of the road. And it's hard to compete with Rick Baker's work. But for all of its faults, if I want to be scared on a full moon, it's Silver Bullet for me. So let me know, which one do you prefer? Do you think either of them are scary?